Imagine, if you will, the Creator. The Creator was in a void of darkness. What exactly was it doing there? Resting? Waiting? Learning? Understanding? What exactly was it doing? Then it would appear that all of a sudden it moved 360 degrees. What prompted this movement? It is speculated that one cannot move in any direction without something else being present by which to move in relation to. Then y'all have never had the privilege of seeing my uncle slow dance alone. That's what the Creator did. It moved in relation to itself. It was in a void of nothingness. Yet it moved. How? Why? It moved because it knew itself. The Creator didn't need something else to be around in order to move. Does your head hurt yet? Have you rolled your eyes? Wait, before you pour the baby out with the bathwater, let me share what I've discovered. In my curiosity, I asked the Creator, how did you know where to go? Well, let's go back a little bit. I had been drawing the flower of life for a few days, and I was looking at the movements while practicing drawing the platonic solids. So I went into the dark living room, and I closed my eyes and pretended I was the Creator. I tried to put myself in its shoes so that I could better understand. I'm slowly turning 360 degrees, trying to feel where my body was, etc. When, and I swear, all I heard was, "It matters not what is around you or where you are. What matters is who you are." Of course, now my curiosity is piqued because when you're drawing the platonic solids, each line is deliberate and comes from a point of a singular focus. So in my mind, the Creator must be confident, sure of itself, focused and deliberate in its actions. The evidence of the Creator's character is all around us, from the smallest atom to that of the largest galaxy. I figured from that point on that I needed to know myself. Who am I? A lot of who I am is based on prior conditioning, but I'll eventually get back to my true self. I vividly remember one sentence that stood out on my report card as a youngster. She's so inquisitive. What's the definition of inquisitive according to the Oxford English Dictionary? Having or showing an interest in learning things. Curious. The way it was said or always written by my teachers made me feel as though I was nosy and something was wrong with me because I asked so many questions. You see, my inquisitive nature never left me. It is purely who I am. I'm also stubborn. Once I fix myself to a certain thing, it's dang near impossible to move me. My grandfather used to tell me I was determined. A nicer way of saying stubborn. I'm compassionate, or in other words, passionate about the community, the whole. So here's what I learned from the Creator itself. Not through hearsay, not through a messenger, but by my simple interaction based on my curiosity and my inquisitive nature. Here's what I learned. Move when you are inspired to do so. Inspiration comes from the inside of you. It's just something that, you just gotta do that. And usually, inspiration of a positive polarity is beneficial not only to you, but the community, right? Move when you are inspired to do so. Something. So if you're looking for, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Sit quietly for a moment and feel the inspiration, because it always will lead you where it needs to, where you benefit the most. Next, recognize that it does not matter who or what is around you. So it means the opinions and the judgments of others and what you may be looking at is irrelevant. It matters who you are. Do you know who you are? If you know who you are, then you will always know what direction to go in because you know who you are. We've heard that saying, know thyself. There's a reason. The next thing is a single point of focus. If you want to look straight ahead, then keep your eyes and your feet facing forward and do not let the whispers or laughter from behind, left or right distract you. Forward. If you want to go forward, then that's where you must be facing. If you want to go to the left, you got to face left. You want to go right, you got to face the direction. You get what I'm saying? But this is why you have to know who you are. Because sometimes you get an inspiration and you're facing that direction to go there. And then all of a sudden, some well-meaning person will say, yeah, but that doesn't look very promising. There's nothing really around you that will really support that theory of yours. I think you might be wasting your time. The minute we give in to those people that say things to us because they're well-meaning and they genuinely do love us. But we have to remember that people can only guide you from where they are at in their own lives because that's what they see. One only speaks from experience. If you tasted a fruit that was just vile to you and you say, oh my God, don't try that. That's gross. No, you can't say it's gross. There's a difference between having some common sense. You don't cross the street without looking. That's common sense. You don't need to experience being hit by a car to know that it is wrong and painful. But when it comes to an experience as far as your spirituality and knowing yourself, you cannot take my word for it. You've got to go out there and try it for yourself. If you try the fruit that I just said was yucky and vile, and you're like, but that's not true. This tastes so good. Then you've just developed your own experience. I hope that makes sense. The next thing is, each movement must be deliberate, with confidence and surety of self. Why deliberate? Well, when you know what you want, you get it. But if you're wishy-washy, maybe not, I'm not sure. Yeah, you'll delay yourself. Be deliberate. But again, that deliberate attitude comes from knowing one's self. And lastly, learning and growing is the purpose of each action. Why move? First of all, you're inspired to do so because you're curious. So if you're curious, that means you have the ability to recognize what your inspiration is. And if you can recognize it, you focus on it and you follow it. And that creates a deliberate act in your movement. And the only thing you can do from that experience is to learn and grow. So you see, that's what I learned from the Creator that morning. Straight from the Creator to me. Yes. So it only went through one person. Because you know how as a kid you play that game, you start at one side and you say something, and by the time it gets back around, it's a completely different message. Well, I didn't do that. There's only me. Because it was important for me to understand And in order for me to understand sometimes, I have to go to the source. And so I went to the source. Is it easy to communicate with the Creator? Yeah. The Creator put a light inside of you. And all you simply have to do is sit there and feel that light. But then you've automatically felt the Creator. This is why I've always said, no rituals required. Why do you need a ritual? Ask yourself if you have children or if you have a pet. Do they have to perform a ritual to get your attention, or do they just call your name? The second law that governs the universe, as above, so below. So below, as above. So if we don't have to perform rituals to get someone's attention, you just say, hey, Joe. You call Joe's name. You've got his attention. You want the attention of the Creator? Sit down and simply say, hello, Creator. You think the Creator doesn't know who you are? And with that, let me recap those 5 things I learned from spending time with the Creator. Move when inspired. Recognize that it doesn't matter who or what is around you. A single point of focus is what you should have. Each movement must be deliberate, with confidence and surety of self. And the outcome of every deliberate action is learning and growing. Again, feel free to sign up for my class where I just share and we share together. It's a learning and teaching all at once, simultaneously. As Confucius says, when one teaches, two learn. You see? So I will leave all the information for you. And I look forward to communicating with you. Much love.